Kohloyim La, Yahweh, Bahashim, Yahweh Shai, Bahashim, Ruchakwadash, saying all praises to the Heavenly Father Yahweh, who the world calls God, in the name of his only begotten Son, Yahweh Shai, who the world ignorantly calls Jesus Christ. And next, double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone who do rule well. Peace, love, and salutation to you, I can push in his word and believe in his word, as well as you few sincere Aquath who I believe in his word. To you all that say Shalom, and may the blessing of election be upon your houses. It's your fellow servant Malachiah, back with another lesson, and as always I pray be edifying to the hopeful elect. Alright, I just wanted to tap in real quick with a quick hit, okay, about removing the leaven from our houses. You know, as Passover approaches, you know, it's required for us to get rid of the leaven out of our houses, man. And when you understand what leaven is, you know, you understand why it's important to spiritually get rid of the leaven out of your house, going into your temple, your spirit, okay? And that leaven is going into that sin, that immorality, you know, the unrighteousness. And by removing this leaven, we're cleansing our spirit from impurities, so we can be made to the liking of Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shai. And it's not just a one-time of the year thing, you know, to purge out that leaven around the Passover. This is something that we got to continue to purge out, okay, continuously, okay, because we know that this is a continuous fight, up and downhill battle, okay, and we are seeking to obtain that victory to the end. So of course we got to fight until the end, okay. This is the book of 1 Corinthians chapter 5 and verse 6. Your glorying is not good. Know ye not that a little leaven leaveneth the whole lump? Okay, so even if you have a little bit of sin, a little bit of immorality, okay, within your spirit, that defiles your whole temple, okay. Verse 7 says, purge out therefore the old leaven, that ye may be a new lump. As it says, you know, when we come to serve Yahweh Shai Hamashiach, you know, we are become new creatures. And becoming new creatures, meaning that means that, you know, we are being transformed by the renewing of our minds, man. Putting off therefore the old man, putting off the mannerisms and the conversation, okay, the old deeds of what we used to do when we were in the world. And when we come into this truth, we got to put on therefore as the new man, okay, walking in the likeness of Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shai, being fastened in the likeness of Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shai. This is 1 Corinthians 5 and 7 again from the top. Purge out therefore the old leaven, that ye may be a new lump, as ye are unleavened. For even a Mashiach, our Passover, is sacrificed for us. Therefore let us keep the feast, not with old leaven, neither with the leaven of malice and wickedness. Okay, so we can't go into this time, all right, this Passover that's coming up, okay, which is Wednesday at sundown. We can't go into this thing with impurities in our spirit. So we got to get rid of these things, man. Okay, and this is something that, like I said, we should be practicing daily, examining ourselves daily, purging out that leaven on a daily basis. This shouldn't be a thing where you're only doing this around the Passover. Okay, so with that being said, this is part of rehearsing the righteous acts. Okay, putting on therefore as the elect. The elect are going to continue to purge out that immorality, the sin, okay, the things from their flesh. This is 1 Corinthians 5 and 8 again from the top. Therefore let us keep the feast, not with old leaven, neither with the leaven of malice and wickedness, but with the unleavened bread of sincerity and truth. Okay, and as it says in St. John chapter 4 and verse 23, now is the time where the true worshipers are going to worship Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai in truth and in sincerity, man. Okay, in spirit and in truth. And that goes into cutting off anything that brings leaven into your house, cutting off anything that brings unrighteousness into your spirit. This is the book of Matthew chapter 5 and verse 29. And if thy right eye offend thee, pluck it out and cast it from thee. For it is profitable for thee that one of thy members should perish, and not that thy whole body should be cast into hell. Okay, so if we have something that interferes with our walk, or something that brings unrighteousness to us, we got to cut that off. Whether that be a person, you know, your friends, your family, whether that be something that we're dealing with ourselves in the spirit. Okay, anything that could interfere with our spiritual growth, we got to cut that off, man. All right, this is verse 30. And if thy right hand offend thee, cut it off and cast it from thee, for it is profitable for thee that one of thy members should perish, and not that thy whole body should be cast into hell. And that goes into the discipline that we have to have in this truth, understanding what's good for our spirit and what's not beneficial to our spirit, man. And the things that are not beneficial to our spirit, it might feel good to the flesh. It might feel good to be around certain people, okay? It might feel good to do certain things, but if they're not beneficial to the spirit or beneficial to our salvation, okay, we have to understand the meaning of discipline and cut those things off, okay? And that's why this is not an easy walk, because the average so-called Negro, Latino, and Native American, they have been given in to their desires, man. They have been given into their flesh, and we all have. We all were at that point at one point in time, you know. But like I said, we understood what it means to be disciplined. We understood what it meant to sacrifice things for the greater good, man. And that's exactly what this truth is about, you know. So, like I said, that means getting rid of anything that would make us undesirable to Yahweh Shem Yahushai, man. Okay, this is the book of Hebrews chapter 12 and verse 1. Wherefore, seeing we also are compassed about with so great a cloud of witness, let us lay aside every weight and the sin which doth so easily beset us. Beset us from what? The path that Yahweh Shem Yahushai have intended for us to walk. That's straight and narrow. Okay, if we're dealing with matters of the world and we're letting the matters of the world weigh us down, we're letting sin put us off, okay, we can't run the race that is set before us, man. Okay, Hebrews 12 and 1 again from the top. Wherefore, seeing we also are compassed about with so great a cloud of witness, let us lay aside every weight and the sin which doth so easily beset us, and let us run with patience the race that is set before us. Okay, and like I always say, you know, this isn't just a relay race. It's not a 40-yard dash, none of that. This is a marathon, okay, where those that have the strength to endure are the only ones who are going to make it unto the end. And those are the ones that have been crucifying their flesh on a daily basis, the ones that are purging their spirits from leaven, okay, continuously, man. This is the book of Romans chapter 6 and verse 12. Let not sin therefore reign in your mortal body, that ye should obey it in the lust thereof. As I said, the average so-called Negro, Latino, and Native American, sin is reigning over them. They are in complete submission to their flesh. They're obedient to their lust, man, which causes them to sin continuously over and over and over. So they have become full of leaven, unprofitable for Yahweh Shem Yahushai. Romans 6 and 13. Neither yield ye your members as instruments of unrighteousness unto sin, but yield yourselves unto the Most High, and those that are alive from the dead, and your members as instruments of righteousness unto the Most High. Okay, so we're supposed to use our gifts for the righteous sake of Yahweh Shem Yahushai, man. Giving our bodies as a living sacrifice to the Heavenly Father, right into His Son. Not giving our bodies as a living sacrifice to sin, to the flesh. Okay. This is the book of Romans chapter 6 and verse 14, continuing on. For sin shall not have dominion over you, for ye are not under the law, but under grace. Okay. So we're not to use this grace as a cloak of maliciousness. Okay. A time to run rampant in the earth. Okay. Piling up iniquity. The scriptures tell us to not be without fear to add sin upon sin, meaning we're supposed to fear sinning against Yahweh Shem Yahushai. We're supposed to fear defiling our temple, okay? And defiling our temple isn't only smoking or eating, eating defiled foods. but as well as your spiritual temple, man. Allowing unrighteousness to dwell, allowing maliciousness to dwell. Okay, it says understanding, Salakia. It says, for sin shall not have dominion over you, meaning power, man. Your sin is the ventriloquist pulling the strings over you, and you're dancing to the music of your flesh, man. This is part of understanding what it means to partake in this family affair, this thing of ours, man, this truth, this faith. Okay, this is the book of Job, chapter 11 and verse 14. If iniquity be in thine hand, put it far away, and let not wickedness dwell in thy tabernacles. For then shalt thou lift up thy face without spot. Yea, thou shalt be steadfast and shalt not fear. Okay, there it is again, man. You got to put that shit off. If it can cause you to be undesirable in the eyes of Yahweh Shem Yahushai, put it off, man. We can close out here. This is 1 Corinthians 11 and verse 25. It says, after the same manner also he took the cup when he had supped, saying, this cup is the New Testament in my blood. This do ye as oft as ye drink it in remembrance of me. For as often as ye eat this bread and drink this cup, ye do shew the Lord's death till he come. Wherefore whosoever shall eat this bread and drink this cup of the Lord unworthily shall be guilty of the body and blood of the Lord. Okay, so when we partake in the Passover, we don't want to be eating that bread and drinking that wine unworthily. Meaning we don't want to partake in the Lord's Passover, okay, with a defiled spirit, knowing that we still have leaven in our spirit. Okay, and you know, spiritually, we don't want to be walking in this truth and we're full of sin, we're full of immorality. Okay, because walking in this truth is partaking in the Lord's Passover, man. Partaking in the Lord's flesh and his blood. You know, having this knowledge, wisdom, and understanding, but you're still being full of iniquity. Okay, that's equivalent to what this is saying right here as well. So this is talking about partaking in the Passover and walking in this truth. This is verse 28. But let a man examine himself, and so let him eat of that bread and drink of that cup. For he that eateth and drinketh unworthily eateth and drinketh damnation to himself, not discerning the Lord's body. So this is a very serious time, and this is a very serious matter, a very serious affair. Okay, and we cannot partake if we are unclean, man. Like I said, this isn't just a once a year thing. Okay, you wait around the Lord's Passover to remove the leaven from your spirit. This is a constant battle. This is a constant thing. Okay, but Adawan Ratazah, meaning Lord willing, you Akim and you Akwav have a mighty Passover, and hopefully this is the last one, man. Okay, and understand what it means, man. Okay, but I'm in this lesson by giving all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Rachakwadash. Just another quick hit through the spirit. See you Akim and you Akwaf on the next lesson. Lord willing, Shalom, Wa Abba Babal.